Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. I'm going to go to the Associated Press. They're saying Jeff Sessions, just saying his name makes me sick, terminates U.S. policy that let legal pot flourish. This is going to cause an unbelievable storm throughout the nation, and what really troubles me is our non-representing representatives and our bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. have no concept or no regard for history. And we don't have to look too far back to understand what happened the last time prohibition gripped this nation and the type of violence that ensued as a result of it. It has been, it was a horrific time in our history. One of many. And Sessions really pisses me off because he's showing signs of the same behavior that the U.S. government exhibited during Prohibition. During Prohibition, we didn't necessarily have the DEA, but we did have the government go in and poison the alcohol going into the speakeasies, and also industrial alcohol, any alcohol being manufactured for industrial purposes, such as like denatured alcohol. And they killed over 10,000 Americans to scare people from partaking of illegally manufactured booze. They thought that it was good. It was for the greater good that they killed 10,000 people to support prohibition, which ultimately failed because it never works. You can't stop people from getting what they want as hard as you try. It's just not going to happen. So Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, the asshat general of the United States, has gone and terminated the Obama-era policy that kept federal authorities from cracking down on marijuana in states where the drug is legal. Attorney General Sessions will now leave it up to federal prosecutors to decide what to do with state rules that collide with federal drug law. Well, there's a very interesting and very easy solution to this. But of course, we'd have to get beyond special interests in this country, and that has to do with our non-representing representatives and senators in Washington, D.C., who could very easily do away with this by simply just legalizing it. If they just legalized it, things would be okay. But Big Pharma will never let that happen. The lawyer lobby will never let that happen. The private prison industrial complex will never let that happen. Those are three biggies out of many out there, special interest groups that donate handsomely to the reelection of many representatives and senators. So you're never going to see justice in this regard coming from the federal government. And Jeff Sessions, who is supported by the private prison industrial complex, as is illustrated by a lot of the executive orders that have been put out and a lot of Justice Department policy that reinstates a lot of that private prison, petty drug crime crap that goes on. Why? He's paid handsomely by these guys. And in turn, he gives 25 cents an hour labor to these private prison the private prison industry. People say, whoa, yeah, China, look at them. They're so awful. Look at how iPhones are made. Yeah, you have no idea how a lot of the stuff that you get oftentimes are made in prisons. Office furniture, military equipment, mattresses, you name it, everything. If you go to Unicor, now this is a federal prison, but you go to the federal prison industrial complex, look up Unicor and see what Unicor manufactures and makes. 25 cents an hour they pay. 25 cents an hour. Over in China, even the people that have to go and work slave labor, slave hours, all that, guess what? They get paid more than that. But here we are, the high and mighty United States of America, and this is what the drug war gives. One of many things. Cheap labor is probably the a numero uno next to all the money that is appropriated to fight the drug war because these asshats like Sessions, like the DEA, go and terrorize American citizens instead of going after drug dealers. Which, hey, you know what? Why do we even have to worry about that? If we just legalized it all, then it wouldn't ever be a problem. And everybody says, well, you know, then we're going to have druggies everywhere. You got them here now. The people that are getting it now are doing it illegally. We are not profiting from it. If people are going to get it, if they want to get high, let them get high. If they can't hold a job, guess what? Personal responsibility. You can't have a job. I don't understand why people could go home and get inebriated with alcohol, rot their guts with alcohol, but it's so bad to roll up a joint and smoke a joint, right? It's so bad. I don't understand I do understand the disconnect. I just explained it. Sessions' actions just 3 days after legalization laws went into effect in California threatened the future of the young industry, created confusion in states where the plant is legal, and outraged both marijuana advocates and some members of Congress. You should. Hell, the state of Colorado solved their budget woes. As a matter of fact, they made so much money that they had to give a lot of it back because they kind of didn't realize that it was going to be so handsomely profitable that they overlooked the constitutional amendment in Colorado that says any budget surplus has to go back to the people. So they squirmed and they tried like hell to reverse it, but the only way to reverse it is to put it to referendum. Yeah, I'd say the people of Colorado are definitely going to vote to overturn that constitutional amendment and just say, government, keep the money. You guys know how to spend it more than me. Go ahead and keep it. Colorado's U.S. Attorney, Bob Troyer, and his office won't change its approach to prosecution despite Sessions' guidance. This is good. The states need to fight back. They need to fight back. And the only way that happens is by pressure applied by us. And if we don't apply the pressure, then guess what? Ain't nothing's going to happen. These channels have to be open, you know, and this goes as along with the rest of what we see with medicine now and how patients are being vilified and all this. It's not going to change anything. You can try and take away opioids from chronic pain sufferers or pot from hippies or whatever. It doesn't matter. Where there's a will, there's a way. We will find a workaround. You know, you want to talk about American spirit. That is at the heart of what it means to be American, right? Is to find workarounds, to win. That's what we do when we're actually doing things for justice, for righteousness, while maintaining the moral high ground. It's when we cede that things go to hell in a handbasket. Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan, foreign policy bungles. Look here in the United States. Government gets involved for the wrong reasons in environmental policy, Bureau of Land Management, right? Look at what happens when that happens. Total chaos, unbelievable pain and suffering, and it absolutely is counterproductive to having a flourishing country. And telling people they can't have what they want is only going to make them want it more. So guess what, folks? Get out there and fight, because this is stupid. And Jeff Sessions, I have some very choice words for you, and I can't say it now because to do so would really, it would partially make me cede the moral high ground, which I will not do. But I can tell you that you are bringing about a lot of heartache and pain for millions of Americans out there under this guise of righteousness, which you are totally in the wrong on. I highly recommend that you cease and desist this behavior. This tyrannical, this fascist, this Puritan agenda that you have. Cast it aside and do and respect the free will and sovereignty of every American here in this country. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Hashtag Wake the Flock Up. Email address tdsjoe@comcast.net. Have a great day.